Alright, this is John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today I'm here with some beautiful Lactacino Kale or Dino Kale. And what we're going to do today is we're going to do juice off, one of my favorite things to do. So today we have the Greenstar Elite or GSE-5000 model. That's a twin gear juicer. And so these are the twin gears right in here in this housing. This is the upgraded model from the standard Greenstar 1000, 2000, and 3000 model and the original Green Power juicer. So these are the twin gears here. Let's see, in my previous test it has yielded more than vertical style juicers, but we're going to see exactly how much. On this side we have the Omega 8005 juicer. And this is my personal Omega 8005 juicer. And normally the Omega 8005 juicer comes with the standard white auger. I've upgraded it to the same auger that comes in the 8004 and 8006 model, and you can do that. And this auger basically costs about $60. So if you do that, this juicer will cost more than the 8006 or more than the 8004 if you have the 8003. So I recommend that you buy the Omega 8004 or 8006 from the get-go. It's going to come with the harder auger and an extra 5 years on the warranty. But these operate just identical. The motors are the same, the body housing is a little bit different, and all these parts are interchangeable between the 8003, 8004, 8005, and 8006. So the yield will be identical on all the different machines. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead. So what we're juicing today is we have the Dino Kale, as I had mentioned. We already pre-weighed out 1 pound of each. So we have 1 pound of Dino Kale on this side, 1 pound of Dino Kale on this side. We're going to see how much it yields, and then we're going to do the Dino Kale. Then we're going to stop, and then we're going to go ahead and juice similar amounts of apples and English cucumbers today. What we're going to do now is we're going to add in the extra apples and cucumbers. And we'll start over here with the Omega 8005. Turn this on, and we're going to feed the apples and cucumbers. So when you feed apples and cucumbers or anything you're juicing in the Omega or any juicer, you always want to rotate your produce. So you saw I just put a piece of apple in, and then I put a piece of cucumber. Now we're putting another piece of apple, and now we're putting cucumber. And if we were making actually green juice at the same time and using the Dino Kale, I'd put in 1 piece of apple, 1 piece of cucumber, 1 piece of Dino Kale. And it really helps to cut your produce so that it'll fit in the machine. The last piece of produce I put in was not cut small enough, so I had to use a little bit of extra force to push it in. So that being said, between the Greenstar Elite and the Omega 8005, the Greenstar Elite does have a larger feed chute. The feed chute is actually square, while the feed chute on the Omega is round, and it's a little bit smaller in diameter. And one of the things that is nice about the Omega 8005 is on the pusher. They have this silicone ring here, which basically helps keep pressure and push things down into the juicer. Whereas on the Greenstar Elite, they don't have this feature, and actually, as you saw with the juicing the straight kale, things came back up the spout, and that rarely happens with the Omega 8005 juicer. So let's go ahead and juice the rest of these cucumbers and apples, and we're going to actually add that to our kale juice. And as I said before, normally we would not juice these all separately, but just for the purpose of the test, to show people what's really going to happen, we did it separately. So you can see all the pulp coming out. The Omega 8005 is still one of my most favorite juicers because it does do a really good job on the leafy greens. So we're going to juice the rest of these apples and the cucumbers, and we're going to mix that into the Dino Kale juice, and that is going to be my juice for today. So I don't just demonstrate the machines here, I actually do drink fresh vegetable juice. I do grow my own produce, and you know, I can definitely say that by eating and including more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet, whether they're juice, blended, or whole, you'll be healthier. And even the government tells us that, and that's scary. So we're just about finished juicing the apples and the cucumbers in the Omega 8005 juicer. We're going to go ahead and turn that off. So we just finished juicing the apples and cucumbers in the Omega 8005 juicer, and now we're going to juice the apples and cucumbers in the Greenstar Elite Juicer. Now with the Greenstar Elite Juicer, you're going to have to definitely use the pusher. Now you do get 2 pushers with the Greenstar Elite, and I always recommend using the wooden pusher. I like it much more. Now when you do feed produce into the Greenstar Elite Juicer, you're definitely going to have to push. You're literally pushing produce between 2 gears. So if you are older, maybe have arthritis, not a lot of upper body strength, you know, this is definitely not the juicer for you, because you literally have to push the produce into the gears to make this juicer work. I mean, I didn't have to do that with the leafy greens, because the leafy greens are literally sucked between the 2 gears, but other things, I mean, especially the carrots, can be a little bit hard to push into the juicer. So it does take some strength. So that's one of the negatives of the Greenstar Elite. So as you can see here, you want to get a shot on the feed sheet. We're once again having an issue with the pulp backing up on us. It's kind of going down now. But once again, this juicer really likes hard fiber, so something like carrots would really be good to run through this juicer to really have it not back up. If it does back up too much, as I said, you do need to loosen the outlet adjusting knob. So you can see the pulp coming out of the machine, and definitely the pulp coming out of this machine is much drier than the Omega 8005 pulp. Alright, so we're finished juicing the apples and cucumbers in the Greenstar Elite Juicer. It's worked fairly well. The pulp's pretty dry, but the thing that happened is, as you can see, once again, there's a lot of foam being created with the Greenstar Elite Juicer, much more than with the Omega 8005. Now, foam is basically extra oxygen, and oxygen basically gets into the juice and oxygenates the juice, which may cause further degradation of the juice. And you know, it's not like this juice is bad now. These are still 2 of the best juicers that you could buy on the market. They run at a low around 100 RPMs, so they introduce less air than most other juicers on the market. But if you need to know the best one, you know, definitely the Omega creates less oxygen. So now we're going to add the apple and cucumber mix to our basically dino kale juice, and this would be a nice, delicious green juice that you can make at home. Normally, as I said, we would make it all at the same time. We wouldn't do it separately. And now let's measure and see which juicer yielded more juice. So now let's compare the yields. So juicing the kale, apples, and cucumbers in the Omega 8005 juicer, we have approximately 3.5 cups with approximately a little bit more than a half cup of foam. And over here on the Greenstar Elite Juicer, let's see, that made basically 3.75 cups of juice, almost 4 cups of juice, but it also made about 2 cups of foam. So as you can see, the Greenstar Elite Juicer definitely was the winner. It created, you know, a 1/4 cup more juice, but the question is, you know, a lot of foam was generated, and when we did the kale alone, the 8005 was the winner. So clearly, you know, it's definitely a pretty close toss-up here. This one juiced more when you did the whole combination. That one did more with just the kale. So hopefully this gives you a good idea. All in all, I'd say, you know, they're both excellent juicers. And all in all, actually, I prefer the Omega 8005, and this is for one very important reason. The very important reason is that besides the yields and less foam, it's much easier to clean. This juicer, and I've timed it many times, takes me under 2 minutes to clean. About a minute and a half if you want to get technical. This juicer would at least take me double the amount of time or triple the amount of time to clean than the Omega 8005 juicer, which is also the same as the 8003, but I would recommend the 8004 and 8006 because they're the upgraded models of this juicer that have the harder auger, as you saw earlier, as well as big catch cups and an extra 5 years on the warranty. Alright, so this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com, enjoying some fresh green juice today. And be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.